Hello, just Gem here and welcome, or indeed welcome back to my channel. While I look presentable, I thought I would have a look at some recent and upcoming releases and tell you whether or not I'm going to buy them. I think in my mind I've got certain categories which is just no, yes, and only if money was no object. I feel like those will be my categories going forward. So I'm going to scoot to the one side and leave a nice area here where I can insert some pictures of all of these glorious items that I'm going to be looking at. We're going to start with Tarte, who are going a bit nuts with the releases, I must say. They've got some kind of eyeshadow, lip and mascara set, as well as a blush quad, which by the looks of it comes in 2 different shades, and a whole heap of other stuff. They're going ham. And looking at it, I don't think I want any of it. It's a bit bland looking, and I don't like that gold packaging. I think it looks a bit tacky, if I'm honest. Yeah, nothing that Tarte is coming out with is jumping out at me, so I think it's just a simple no there. Yeah, just no. Odin's Eye have got something in the works. They're just showing blurred out images at the moment and saying it's coming soon, coming on the 20th, which isn't far off. I don't know when this video is going to go up, but it may well have been revealed by the time I put this up. I'm mildly intrigued, but I heavily suspect that this would fall more into the if money were no object category. But you never know. Let's wait for the full reveal. It could tip, but for the time being I'm going to sit that solidly in the if money were no object category. Urban Decay are releasing a couple of things. So they've got a Moondust quad. So a Moondust inspired quad, but bear in mind that that quad does not actually contain the OG Moondust shade. Which I guess I get it, why they've done that. And it looks pretty, it does. And I'm mildly curious. I don't know how much this is going to be in pounds though. I want to say off the top of my head it's going to be $38. Which makes me suspect it's probably going to be around 35 or even just £38, because sometimes we get stung like that. And I don't know if 4 shimmer shades like that are worth that amount of money. I just don't know. So as with Odin's Eye, I'm going to put that in the if money was no object category while I await the price reveal. But even if it's 35, let's say 30, or let's just do 36 because it's easier to divide by 4. So that's £9, isn't it? £9 a shade, which I suppose for like a lot of special shade that's actually not too bad. But oh, they do look pretty. Maybe that's kind of firmly in between yes and yes if money was no object, because that does look really pretty. Next on the agenda is Glaminatrix Cosmetics. Now this isn't a new item, this is a repackaging. I have been eyeing Glaminatrix Cosmetics because they seem to do some very nice palettes. I enjoy the colour stories that they've done so far, and this is no exception, to be honest. So this is the Rich Romantic palette, and I mean the new packaging that they've put it on, the new packaging that they have put it in is beautiful. It's this like rosy and, but well, you can see it because I've put it here, and that colour story looks beautiful. But this is going to go in the yes if money were no object pile, simply because it's an Australian brand and getting it to me would cost an arm. I wouldn't go as far as an arm and a leg. I've seen higher postage, but it would cost me an arm, and I'm not willing to part with an arm. So let's see if it comes to Monolith, and let's see how much they mark it up. Something just sounded like it fell downstairs and I have no idea what it was. I'll investigate later. Yes, let's see if it comes to Monolith and how much it gets marked up by, and then I'll make a decision. Bella Beauté Bar, who again I've been coveting from a distance, but very much like Laminatrix, it's a US based brand, and this palette is not cheap. Poison, $75. I dread to even think how much that would be on Monolith, and then to add the postage on top. I don't know if I could get it sent to my brother, if that would make it cheaper. But then when would I get my hands on it is the second question. Well, it's probably, actually, that's not the second question. I think I've posed several questions already along the way. But $75. I really like that colour story though. And I think as an introduction to the brand, that would be a really nice palette to use. It's got an autumnal feel. The shades are right up my street. It looks beautiful, but $75. Ooh, it's gonna have to be if money were no object, isn't it? Ugh, I want to cry. So far, I don't think I'm buying anything, am I? Going back to Urban Decay, because as well as that moon dust quad, they've also got a funky star-shaped palette. And my first question is, but how would I store that? I mean, it looks... I mean, no, I don't know. I suppose it looks mildly cute, but it's just awkward to store. And it's all about the storage. And to be fair, it looks a bit boring, the shades inside. Yeah, there's nothing special about the shades in there, to be honest. No, it's a no from me. No. NYX The Face Glue. I wondered... I mean, it's not April the 1st, but originally it did kind of look a bit like an April Fool's joke, because it's the face glue, and it's in those, you know when you're in primary school and you used to get that PVA glue and they'd be in the squeezy bottles? It's packaging like that, which is a little bit gimmicky, but it's quite cute actually. I'm not really on the market for a primer or a setting spray, because there is a matching setting spray to go with it. To be honest, I actually wear primer less and less these days. If I do, it's the Milk Hydro Grip, but generally I just make sure that my face is well prepped and moisturised. That's as far as I go. I mean, I could be swayed to try it. And it's NYX, it's relatively inexpensive, isn't it? $9, maybe £18 for both. That's not bad. But as I say, I'm not really in the market for a primer or a setting spray. So it's not even really a if money was no object thing, because that's actually very reasonably priced. I think it's just a no, to be honest. Cute though, NYX. I'll give you points for cuteness. Cosmic brushes. They have released Undergrowth, which is a, as the name might suggest, a very earthy toned, greeny, browny palette. And this is a yes, because I've already bought it. I bought it today. It's on the way. Well, it's not on the way yet, but it will be on the way shortly. And I ummed and ahed, and I went back and forth over this. And in the end, I decided to myself, do you know what? Cosmic is a brand that I rate. I really like their formula, and I like the colour scheme. I do like the colour scheme. And the reason I went back and forth over this is because I like the colour scheme so much, I already have it twice. So I figured I might take one for the team and do a bit of a comparison between Earthy from Beauty Bay, because that's one iteration of me having this already, and also a comparison with Nomad Wild Atlantic Way, because that's the other iteration of how I already have this colour story. I don't have Yucca, but I saw, I want to say it's Jen's Beautiness, she compared them on TikTok, and personally I don't rate Yucca. I've said it in my previous Natasha Denona video, I don't rate Natasha Denona shadows that much in general, because they tend to lack depth. The palettes I do have from her are the exception really, and they are Metropolis, which is a limited edition which you can't even get anymore, My Dream palette, which is a stunning, versatile palette with a buttload of depth. Those are the two I've got that I know have got really good depth. I have other ones. I've got Retro, which I haven't played around with enough to make a final judgment. And I've got Sunrise, which shamefully I think I've purchased and then put to the side and never picked up and swatched, which is terrible. I do need to dig that out. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Yucca for the lack of depth. I do like the colour story, as indicated by the fact I've got Earthy and Wild Atlantic Way, but Yucca was just lacking that oomph. But there is a green shade in there that looks... If that's sold as a single, I would have that because that's stunning. But yeah, I have got it. I'm waffling here. I have got it. It is coming. So yes. Oh, speaking of Natasha Denona, I mean, this is old at this point. I Need a Warm... No. No. I just don't know how versatile that palette would be. It's just lots of brown. It's boring. Like, if I'm going to go down the neutral route, it's going to be... It's funny the overlap here, but it's going to be Cosmic Neutrals. But this, maybe apart from that shade Phenomena, there's just nothing exciting about that palette for me. So, no. Ooh. The Hourglass holiday palettes. I've been stung by these the past 2 years. So I got Tiger and Snake, and I can use them. I can make them work for me. The infuriating thing for me is that Snake is actually very, very similar to Tiger. And I watched videos, I did my research, and from those I thought, do you know what, I think they're different enough. I bought Snake, I eyeballed it, and I thought, And then I did swatches, and lo and behold, they were almost identical, and I wouldn't say I was irate, but I wasn't best pleased. Lotus, the deepest of these three, does look like it could work. I don't think the bronzer is quite deep enough for me, and that peach blush just lacks all depth. Is it a thing with peach? Surely there's got to be like a peach shade that works and looks good on a deeper skin tone. I can't find one. If you know of a nice peach blush for a deeper skin tone, please let me know, because I want it. I want it. I'm just not willing to part with the money this year, even though I think Hourglass are getting closer. So that fills me with confidence to maybe next year and the year after. But I'm not willing to splurge this year. And it's not even not if money was no object for me. I'm still plodding along with my Tiger and my Snake. Sounds a bit weird. But I'm still using those. I am far from hitting pan. Is it something that maybe I should consider purchasing for like comparative purposes down the line? Maybe if it goes on a sale, if it's around long enough to go on a sale, or if Cult does any kind of discount, or I can find any kind of discount, minimum 20%, I'd think about it. Full price, absolutely not. No. Danessa Myricks Lightwork 6. That's what I've got on my eyes right now. Yes, yes. And then a whole heap of stuff from, who even is this? It says Lancome. It just all looks a bit boring and bland. Nothing about that appeals to me. No. No. NARS. NARS is spaffing out some stuff again. It's very gold. It's very NARS. It looks the same as everything that NARS seems to release. I don't think I've ever tried a cheek palette from NARS. I have an eye palette. I have 2 eye palettes from NARS actually that I got in like a John Lewis beauty event bag, and I've not touched either of them. Maybe that would be worth a video, but no, they just, no. NARS products at the moment just don't really do it for me. Spice. So ABH is releasing this 9-pan square palette called Spice. And my question is the spice in the room with us? Why have they called it Spice? Spice to me is it brings to mind deep browns, oranges, maybe like a true gold could be in there, red even. The most interesting and exciting colour in here is a pink shimmer. So no. I might have been tempted if the colour story was more fitting with the name, but spice for that colour story, it just doesn't fit. No. These Made by Mitchell split pan highlighters. I was eyeing these up, and I was eyeing up the deep shade, and I might do it because chances are it's going to come down in price on the TikTok shop. I just hate the packaging. Like, I get it because his name's Mitchell and he's put it in a compact that's got the M shape, but it's just ugly looking, really, isn't it? It's just not aesthetically pleasing to look at. Why can't he put it in the Slip Dew round cases? Those are nice. I don't like these M's. I don't like them. But there's the one, it's kind of in the peachy packaging, peachy orangey packaging. I'm tempted. I know I said there were 3 categories. Or should we put it in yes if money was no object? Because then if it goes on sale, and at a sufficient sale, then I could go for it, couldn't I? Yeah, maybe we'll put it in that category. And I think that's it for now. Those are like the latest and upcoming releases. There's probably more, but I'd be here for hours, because when it comes to makeup, there seems to be a release every 5 minutes, especially now that we're sort of coming up to holiday season. And speaking of which, Black Friday is around the corner, and I know you're probably thinking, we've still got all of October to get through. I know, but we're going to blink and it's going to be Black Friday. So a lot of these releases that are coming out now, maybe sit tight, because come Black Friday, they may well be on offer. Some new releases, there'll be exceptions for sure, but if there's anything you've been eyeing up, now's the time to be on a no-buy for the rest of September and the duration of October and November until you get to Black Friday. Because how annoyed would you be if you bit the bullet and you bought something now only to find it's massively reduced come Black Friday? Sit tight. Makeup releases that are coming out, or anything that you've been eyeing up in the last couple of months, wait now. You've waited this long, just keep waiting for Black Friday, grab it then. I'm going to leave it there. I don't know how useful you would have found my list of whether or not I'm going to buy or not buy recent or upcoming launches. At the very least, hopefully you found it entertaining, and I also hope that you will join me again in a video in the not too distant future. Take care. Bye.